The CEO of America's second largest bank is preparing for possible U.S. debt default. Let's get into the details, shall we? Congress is once again bickering about raising the debt ceiling, the amount of money the U.S. government can borrow to pay its bills on time. And that means the corporate America has to be ready for the worst. The CEO of Bank of America, BAC, America's second largest bank, told CNN he hopes lawmakers resolve their issues because the market and economy love stability. Yet defaulting on the country's debt remains a possibility that cannot be ignored. We have to be prepared for that, not only in this country, but in other countries around the world. Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan told Poppy Harlow on CNN this morning, Monday. You hope it doesn't happen, but hope is not a strategy, so you prepare for it. President Joe Biden may touch on the topic on Tuesday's State of the Union address. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has already warned Congress that the country could default on its financial obligations as soon as June if the debt ceiling is not raised before then. Why not just stop spending so much money? Yellen subsequently said there could be a global financial crisis if there is no debt limit agreement. The Treasury Department is now taking extraordinary measures to continue paying bills on time. The latest drama about the debt ceiling has led to some calls for the government to get rid of it entirely. Ugh, that's not good. The argument is that political squabbles shouldn't prevent the U.S. from meeting its financial commitments. Moynihan isn't a fan of that idea. He told Harlow that there's got to be an argument about how we make sure we live within our means as a country when asked whether or not the U.S. should eliminate the debt ceiling. Congress has the purse strings. I would be careful about trying to restructure the U.S. Constitution, he said. I think we should leave it alone and make sure it operates correctly. But he conceded that the government has needed to spend a lot more on various stimulus programs since 2020 due to the COVID-19 crisis, saying that the U.S. had to take on a lot of debt over the past couple of years to overcome the pandemic, drag on the economy. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, what about all that debt we had before? I mean, we ramped it up a lot during COVID, don't get me wrong, but there was still a substantial, huge amount of debt beforehand. The economy has rebounded sharply from the depths of the brief COVID downturn, so much that inflation is now arguably the biggest problem facing the country as well as the Federal Reserve. The Fed has raised rates aggressively for the past year to try to choke off inflation. The rate hikes have started to work, but the U.S. job market remains shockingly strong. The unemployment rate has stayed very low, extremely low, Moynihan told Harlow. That's one of the challenges for the Fed. It's funny they want the unemployment to go up. With that in mind, Moynihan said Bank of America is still predicting a mild recession at some point in the future, but the start date keeps getting pushed. He argues that higher rates could be a drag on corporate profits, but the good news is most people are still working, earning good wages, and spending. Moynihan also didn't seem overly concerned that any geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and China stemming from the recent spy balloon incident will have a lasting impact on the global economy. He told Harlow that given China's importance in the global supply chain, it's in everyone's interest to not have any economic tensions escalate. It's interesting to watch the shadow boxing between the two countries, Moynihan said, but the best thing in the world is to have free trade. Okay, yeah, so interesting. I wonder if there's no way that the U.S. is actually going to default on the debt right now. So they're going to raise this debt ceiling. But I don't think you can cut some government programs already. The debt just keeps going higher. It's like, why don't you cut and then you earn money? The $2 trillion, I believe, in taxes every year. It's like it's not enough for you. Come on. Yeah, and the free trade thing with China, China's going downhill because of the COVID thing. And America is realizing don't trade so much with China. So, Yeah, so that last point he made about China, that's interesting. I think free trade is pretty good, but at the same time, it gives China a lot of power over the United States, and then it just takes all of their manufacturing away from the United States, which makes the country be in a weaker position. But what do you think? Do you think I'm right or wrong on that? Please let me know all your opinions in the comments below. Also, please give this video a quick like, subscribe to the channel for daily news updates, hit that notification bell, and share this video to help spread the news. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.